We are live checking in again from here on Radio Row at the Super Bowl. And some 49ers showed up today. We had Deebo Samuel show up. He caused a little bit of a stir, and we'll talk about why he did or what he did that caused said stir. Fred Warner was here. We saw a bunch of other people here. Got to interview a couple players and a couple people, and we'll talk about some of the things that stood out. Fred Warner making his recruiting pitch at Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett was on site, and man, that guy is massive. We got some Christian McCaffrey news, some good news at that, so we're really excited about it's good news. I saw someone in the chat already saying, oh no, what's the CMC news? Don't worry, it's good news, I promise you. So we'll talk about all that stuff. But as you guys already know, drop an SDS in a chat, smash that like button, and let's get to it right now. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. All right, guys, shout out to all of you. We are back, and we are here to talk about some of the stuff to come out today. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with some of the good news, I guess. So shout out to my guy, Alex, who runs the Niners Nation Instagram account. He had a great pull today of Ed McCaffrey talking about how the expectation is that Christian McCaffrey will be healthy, fully healthy, expected to be within the next week or so. So that means with Christian McCaffrey, and as he continued to state, is that he'll have a full offseason. So it's good news. Good news. And I think that's exactly what we wanted to hear. And again, the whole situation with CMC and how it went down, obviously the bilateral Achilles tendonitis was a situation that was concerning for most 49er fans. But it was really cool to see that he was able to get back to form, but unfortunately re-injured himself against the Bills, had the knee injury that basically knocked him out. Oh, wow. We have breaking news, NBA breaking news. We have some Warriors news. The Miami Heat are finalizing a deal to send Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick. I know that has nothing to do with the 49ers or football, but man, we have the NBA. The NBA is taking over Radio Row. The first we were talking about nothing but Luka here to start the whole week. Now we have Jimmy Butler heading to the Golden State Warriors. All right, that's a big move. Andrew Wiggins on the move, Dennis Schroeder on the move. Honestly, I don't mind that. I don't mind that trade. I'm a Warriors fan, so I think that's a good move. I think it's I think Andrew Wiggins, he had his moments with the franchise, but I don't mind them moving on. But hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Jimmy Butler on the Warriors. All right. There's some breaking news. Not football related, but somehow the two worlds have collided here in New Orleans. That's absolutely insane. But I'm interested to see. Chili threw it up he threw it up in the chat. Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson protected first for Warriors. Or no, the Warriors get Jimmy Buckets. All right. Well, that's quite a story to break. I know there's been a lot of rumors about LeBron potentially going to the Warriors and KD going to the Warriors, but they get it. They get it. It was good detail. Someone said, have the pigeons already made an appearance? The pigeon, did you guys see the pigeons? Bro, the pigeons almost took me out yesterday. They almost took my head off. And we've seen them flying around somewhere. But yeah, there are pigeons here in New Orleans. So hey. All right, we got our show started with some breaking NBA news. I'll take it. NBA news right now is the talk of the town. So it is what it is. But we talked about the Christian McCaffrey news. Again, I think it's just speaks to positive momentum. This offseason for the 49ers is all about positive momentum, being able to build and take steps in the right direction in everything that we're doing. Again, it's a positive situation that we're hearing that CMC is trending towards being fully healthy within the next week. Another positive step in the right direction. So we'll take it. I know there have been a lot of things going around about the potential of Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett showed up today on Radio Row, and that dude is massive. He looks like a defensive player of the year. And it was really cool to see him walking around doing interviews and all that type of stuff. But he's a big boy, and I can see why he is so good at what he does. Tommy with the super chat says the Swifties by 50 billion. I hope not. I'm ready for the Swifties to take an L. So I don't want to see them be able to go to another parade. And unfortunately, that means that the Philadelphia Eagles would have to win. But I'm looking at it this way. I'm rooting for Saquon Barkley on this one. We're going Saquon on this one. What, in your opinion, would you give up for Myles Garrett? I would give up pick 11 in a heartbeat. And if they ask for a player, I would do that as well to go with 11. And maybe an additional day 2, day 3, or even a following year pick. I would absolutely send 11 in a heartbeat. Obviously, 11 is a premier pick, and you would love to be able to build your franchise off those types of players. But I think when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers, man, they want to win next year. They have the opportunity to retool quickly enough that they can be contenders again. Now, there are plenty of moves that need to be made before they can do that, but they have the opportunity. And if you can get your hands on a premier edge rusher, and this has been something that I've been banging the table for literally what feels like ever since D Ford had to medically retire, it is one step closer to the 49ers being able to get back to where they want to be. So if that meant giving up pick 11 and sacrificing someone like, maybe Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss, I don't know if Mike Green is at 11 yet. He kind of feels like a 15 to 20 guy. So he could be a trade back candidate. But man, I would trade pick 11 in a heartbeat for a Myles Garrett, a Max Crosby. Doesn't matter. The 49ers greatest, I would say their best year, at least defensively, was 2019. I think you can make the argument that 2019 and 2022 rivaled each other in regards of how good those defenses were. But I talked about it so many times, and when I make this argument, the 2019 49ers went 13-3 because of 4 defensive linemen: Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, and Dee Ford. Those guys dominated. And it allowed the 49ers offense to be mid, but it allowed them to control the ball, control clock, and play the time of possession game and play keep away from opposing, big time offenses. So I'm for it, man. I'm for it. I'm for it. We're still talking about Jimmy Butler. We already talked about Jimmy Butler, Alfred. But anyways, that's, as I've been talking about, that's the key, I think, for the 49ers to get back to dominance, is being able to rebuild that defensive line. And it starts there. And we already talked about the offensive line as well. I was able to interview Gerald McCoy today. He was a phenomenal interview, by the way. I don't know if he's announced it yet, but it sounds like he's going to be doing a they have Tight End University and the Pass Rush Summit. It sounds like Gerald McCoy is going to put on a camp for college and NFL defensive tackles. But we got nerding out about technique, what it takes to be a dominant interior defensive lineman. And when we were talking, everything was clicking towards, man, the 49ers, they need to get dominant on the interior, and they need to continue to stack on the edges, and they need to get the defense. Like, it really, that's all it comes down to. You can backfill some other holes. You can get creative, whether in the draft or free agency. But if you can sink the assets into that defensive line, I think that's the quickest path forward, because you're going to have Robert Saleh back. I talked to Mark. I always mess up his name. He was one of our key special teamers from, I think, 2017 to 2021. He was the German linebacker, Mark. I don't even want to try to disrespect the man by trying to pronounce his name, but you might know who I'm talking about. Talk to him about having Robert Saleh back. Of course, he was with the team when Robert Saleh was there, and just talked about how Robert is going to be able to bring an energy and a level of buy-in from everyone in that room. And he said one of the best traits and qualities of Robert Saleh is his ability to individually coach each different personality. And I'm just really excited about that. So I think, again, a lot of the things that I've talked about with this offseason with the 49ers is about stacking momentum. Yes, this is it. This is who I spoke to today. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. I'm not sure. I haven't really been on social all that much today. But Deebo Samuel rocking the AJ Brown, Kelly Green Did that piss you off? How does it feel to see Deebo Samuel wearing Philadelphia colors? First comment says not cool. I think a lot of fans, at least some of the reactions that I saw, weren't too particularly pleased by it. But we also recognize that he's boys with A.J. Brown. They were the same draft class together. When the 49ers had their pre-draft 30 visit, Deebo and AJ came in together. They went through combine prep together, so they're homies. So I don't personally look at it like that, but I also understand that certain fans just can't comprehend. I mean, it'd be like Deebo Samuel showing up in Dallas Cowboys colors, or CeeDee Lamb showing up in a Deebo Samuel jersey. I just think it's never going to sit right with fans. It doesn't matter what their relationship is. Just to see the colors switch, it's a bit jarring for some. But at the end of the day, I know why he's wearing it. Of course, context matters. I don't have a problem with it. It looks odd. It looks weird seeing Deebo in those colors. I'm only used to seeing him in red and gold, so definitely a bit of a shock to the system. But it is what it is. Nothing too crazy. Y'all out?
Yeah, since you've shots fired at my team.
Hey, I had to.
It's all right, it's fair. I mean, you did only follow me because I got an interview.
That's exactly. So, anyways, what other stuff happens? Shout out to Georgie. Georgie won a award today. He won the Salute to Service Award. So that was really cool. I know that means a lot to George. And you know, it's something that he's been passionate about for a while now. Him and his family have always kind of handed out a ear, a hand, whatever veterans or active military have needed. They've always done such a great job of shining light on those who have served. So it's pretty cool to see. So congrats to George for getting the Salute to Service Award. Pretty sweet. I did not run into the maniac who was asking all of those questions to the Chiefs about the refs. But hey, Joy says my son is a new Marine, so this is really touching. Shout out to Joy. Shout out to your son, and pass along our gratitude for him for serving our country, and doing a job that not a lot of people want to do, but needs to be done. So shout out to him, and shout out to your family. So that's super cool, super cool. But congrats to George. I think that meant a lot to him for sure, to be able to do that. So, anyways, in regards to anything 49ers related, Anything, any questions that you guys have, all that stuff. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Drop it in the chat today. It was cool. I had to pump fake Todd Gurley today. He was trying to see me in the hole, and I was like, ho, 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 watch out, Todd, watch out. No, we almost ran into each other. You know how you do that awkward thing where you're like, oh, this way, that way, no, that way. That was pretty funny. But everyone started showing up today. I think tomorrow is going to be a crazy, crazy day in regards to people who are here and who's going to be walking around and all that stuff. So there's going to be I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Shout out to Todd, though. Shout out to Todd. I loved him coming out of Georgia. I remember too, my very first impression of Todd Gurley at Georgia. It took one carry. The one carry I saw from Todd, I had no idea who he was, had no idea what his anything was. I saw one carry, flipped on a Georgia game, saw one carry. I was like, oh, he's special. He's special. You could see it right away. Todd is super chill, super cool. I almost got him too. I was almost able to get an interview, but they were ending it, calling it for the day. So maybe we'll try again tomorrow. Golden State Warriors Jimmy Butler has agreed to a new 2-year, $121 million extension with the franchise through 26 and 27 season. Butler is declining his 25-26 player option for this new deal. Wow. That's crazy. So not only did the 49ers trade, but they get a contract as well. I don't know. Do we do you, if you're a Warriors fan, is that a good trade or a bad trade? How old is Butler? Oh, dude, the pigeons are creeping on me. The pigeons are creeping on me. I'm scared after yesterday. He's 35. Damn. He's 35 years old. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a crazy trade because of the name value of Jimmy Butler, but to hear that he's 35, they just signed him to a 2-year, $121 million extension. And I mean, I'm not worried about what they sent. I think Andrew Wiggins, his time has kind of run its course with the Warriors. Dennis Schroeder's, a mid-level player. So I'm not worried about the haul. And they gave up a first-round pick. All right. Yeah. I don't love the trade. I don't hate the trade. I think it's okay trade. It's an okay trade. I don't know. I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's it might provide a spark might provide a little bit of different energy. Might kind of allow Curry to, be off the ball a little bit more, things like that. So, yeah. It's a 5-team trade? Is that what they're saying? It's a 5-team trade? Dang. Who would have thought that the NBA trade deadline would take over Super Bowl week? This is probably like the worst case scenario for the NFL, because you have Chiefs, Philly. Outside of Chiefs and Philly fans, no one cares really about this game. Everyone's sick, I think, of both teams. And now you have, like, literally here on Radio Row, where we're supposed to be talking all things football, and we're supposed to be talking all things Super Bowl. The Luka trade dominated the first couple days, and now we're talking more about basketball. maybe this is how we transition into also talking about the Warriors moving forward. But I do understand, just because you're a 49er fan doesn't mean you are a Warrior fan. So it's not the thing with the 49ers is we have so many fans across the world that it's not a foregone conclusion that just because you're a 49er fan means you're a Dubs fan too. So, introducing the SF Warriors, birthed here in New Orleans. Fantastic. Michael says, what do you think about the 49ers trying to sign Tommy Tremble, the tight end from the Lakers detail? We should all just spin off and start creating other situations. Oh, God. We big time squirrel. It was really cool, actually. I'll answer this question because I think I got distracted before I could answer it, and I'm going to get distracted again. Wait. Oh, I'm getting trolled by Chili. It was super cool. So right before I got on, and one of the reasons why I was late is we were just I was just chopping it up with Josina Anderson for like 30 minutes. She was just right on the other side of this table, just walked up to us, started asking her questions about like her job and all of that stuff. Josina is cool. She is really good at her job, and she broke a lot of news for this coaching cycle. So that was cool. I think one of the cool things about coming to these types of events and these places is being able to meet all the people that like we engage with online all the time. So it's really cool talking to Josina. She's a real one. But Michael wants to know about should the 49ers sign Tommy Tremble. I personally have been waiting for Tommy Tremble to break out for like 3 years. I'm a low key. I guess I'm not like super ashamed to say this, but I'm low key a Tommy Tremble truther. I'm not gonna lie. He is extremely athletic. He has dealt with injuries, so that's one thing you have to keep in mind. But yeah, I am oh, my phone died. I'm a Tremble truther, low key. So would I be willing? I would. I'd probably want him more as my third tight end. I still think, I think they need a blocking tight end, man. They really need someone who can get their nose dirty. And but also the thing with getting blocking tight ends is they're much easier to get, in my opinion, than either complete tight ends or receiving tight ends. So I would say like Tommy Tremble would be an absolute upgrade over Braden Willis. So if Braden Willis is your tight end 3, Tommy Tremble would be an upgrade at tight end 3. But if you can get an upgrade to your tight end 2, which is Eric Saubert, I thought Eric Saubert probably was ideally a tight end 3 for us. But I do think that if you could get Tremble as a tight end 3, like the H-back, like you're saying, and then get a more well-rounded blocker for your tight end 2, I would be absolutely happy with that setup for sure. Michael says over 200 people watching, only 70 likes. Smash that like button. Or you could go with Justin's guy, Elijah Arroyo, who balled out at the Senior Bowl. You want to talk about a receiving threat at tight end? This is your guy. He can run some freaking routes. That's for sure. But I think there's a lot of really intriguing pieces that can work for the 49ers here. I think there's a lot of options and a lot of directions that they can go. And I think they can really upgrade themselves. Mason Taylor, I agree. Mason Taylor is a guy that I really like, for sure. So tight end, definitely a position that they can improve and get better at. So I'm just really curious about like the questions we have about the future of some of these players, some of the players that we have had on our roster for a while, and like just like what does their future hold? What is going to be? Are they going to be here next year? Because that it really impacts the conversations that we're going to have about projecting where the 49ers might go, whether in free agency or in the draft. Dude, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 team trade. This is crazy. All right. This is crazy. The Warriors get Jimmy Butler. The Heat get Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, a protected first. Pistons get Lindy Waters, Josh Richardson. The Jazz get Dennis Schroeder. The Raptors get Kyle Anderson. I feel like the Dr. Phil meme, like 5-team trade. 5-team trade is insane. That's crazy. That's crazy. So it's actually this actually affects my plans because I was going to be hopping on with Larry Krueger on KNBR, and we were going to be talking about the Senior Bowl. But now, obviously, KNBR is like we got to talk about this trade. I'm not an expert on the Golden State Warriors by any stretch of the imagination. So, sounds like we're going to pivot to tomorrow. To wait, actually, hold on. Let's do tomorrow. I know everyone wants to hear about the trade. Trade Wiggins for Purdy. Relax, pal. That's funny. That's funny. All right, get your last couple questions in. I'm ready to get off my feet though. Even though I'm technically it read my mind. I'm exhausted. Man, this is definitely a first for me as you guys know, I was in Mobile for a week and then went directly from Mobile to New Orleans, and I have been leaving my room at 8 in the morning. I'm out the door by 8 in the morning. And so far, every day that I have been here, I have not been getting back to my room until 11 a.m. Or 11 p.m. See, I can't even think straight. It's been what's the word? A marathon. It's been a marathon for sure. And tomorrow's going to be a huge day here at Radio Row. It's going to be really busy. So a big push for tomorrow. Friday is kind of a wind down day, and then I'm back in the Bay on Saturday. I appreciate it, Wesley. I appreciate everyone who supports the channel, supports me, supports our content. It means a lot. I think one of the more gratifying things as walking around here and people recognizing me and people letting me know that they appreciate my content. I don't know. I don't know if Ashley's watching this, but one of my guys that I'm here with, like like we're working together. We're kind of dividing and conquering. He was like, I was telling one of my friends' wives. He's from Canada, by the way. Like they live in Canada. He was like, I was telling one of my friends' wives, like, yeah, I'm going to the Super Bowl. One of the guys that I'm going to like be linking up with does a lot of 49ers content. And he said that his friend's wife says, is it Brad? He was like, what? Like, how did you know? Like, how did you know that was him? And I thought that was crazy. Like, uh, he's all the way in Canada. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to the Super Bowl to work with this guy who covers the Niners. And you talking about Brad? So shout out Ashley. I don't know if she's watching. We're gonna watch this, but I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, it was crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Uh, One of my guys here runs the NFL account, runs NFL social media. Shout out my guy Colin. Ran into some 49ers social media people. Shout out to them. It's been cool, man. It's been cool. So I appreciate the support, appreciate it. I mean, it really does, like, really kind of like, all the work, all the sleepless nights, it feels like, and the hours, that I pour into this, that we pour into this together. I really appreciate it. Um, Fred said told Myles to come through, basically. Fred he was like, hey man, we were just chilling at the Pro Bowl. Why don't you come through? So he says, I mean, I see Myles Garrett asking for a trade. Hey Myles, what's up? We were just chopping it up at the Pro Bowl. So basically he's saying you got Fred Warner openly recruiting Myles Garrett. And again, like I said, Myles Garrett was here. Walked right past Myles Garrett. So hey, they're probably chatting. They're probably chatting it up. So we'll see what happens, if anything happens. But hi J49. Salvador says, I hope the 49ers win the Myles Garrett sweepstakes. I hope they win. I hope the 49ers win the offseason. I think that's something that's important. I talk about it a lot, and I say it a lot, but I think it's really important. They got to win this offseason. And if that's a trade, if that's draft, if that's free agency, if it's all of it, they got to do it. Oh, I'm so tired. But I love it. I'm tired, but I love it. Oh, don't be hating, bro. Don't be hating on the samurai bun, dog. Especially when I'm Japanese. Like, if anyone can rock the samurai bun, I think it's a Japanese guy. But I actually do appreciate that you referred to it as the samurai bun. I do appreciate that. But what time is it? 7:57. It's a professional bun. Facts. I left the hats at home this week. Shogun Brad, I like that. But we'll get after it tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'll be a little bit better about getting the content out. I need to get them. I need to get a couple interviews out. I talked to my guy Nick Saldiveri. I don't know if you guys remember him from a couple years ago. He was the guy that I really liked coming out of the draft. When the 49ers could have taken him instead of Cam Latu or Jake Moody. You know, who's keeping track, not me. But he was a guy he's been a starting offensive lineman for the Saints as a 4th-round draft pick out of Old Dominion. So I got to talk to him. Got to talk to Jake Kuntz. I don't know if you guys remember that name. Old Dominion tight end. Interviewed him. But tomorrow I'm going to try to go ham. Wear a suit. I don't have a suit. Bro, I didn't see a single thing. I don't even know if he was there, to be honest with you. I didn't see his name on a roster. If he was there, I completely missed him. And like I said, I had the roster. I didn't see his name. I didn't see him anywhere. Shout out my guy Greedy Greg. Greedy Greg's been rocking for a long time. For sure. Shout out to all the SDS who've been rocking for a long time. Shout out to all you guys, man. Appreciate you for following me along this journey. You know, whether you believe it or not, you guys are directly correlated to the reason why I can do this. So it's not just me. Every time you guys watch my content, every time you like a video, every time you comment, all of it, it all helps me. So, man. Oh, perfect timing. They're starting to cut the lights. So you know what that means. Appreciate all you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, per usual, and all that good stuff. But for the meantime, I'm out for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it.